So what if I told you that going gray isn't really about your age or your genes? What if it's something you actually have some control over? Today, we're going to look at the science that completely flips the script on gray hair. It's not about being inevitable. It's a sign of something else going on inside.
I want you to let that sink in for a second. It's a really powerful way to think about it. Your hair follicles aren't just giving up and dying, they're literally starving. They're crying out for the specific raw materials they need to make color. And here's the best part. If you can feed them what they're hungry for, there's a chance they can wake right back up.
You know, there's even a medical term for this, acromatria. But let's make it simple. Think of your hair follicles as these little pigment factories. Over the years, they don't necessarily break down or get old, they shut down production because they've run out of raw materials. So this isn't an age problem, it's a supply chain problem.
Okay, so if we're going to fix this supply chain issue, we have to tackle three main problems. First, just a simple lack of key minerals. Second, there's a buildup of your body's own natural hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, you heard that right. And third, damage from something called oxidative stress. We're going to find a food that solves each one of these.
All right, let's start with the most important thing first. Giving that factory its raw materials back. This is all about getting the essential building blocks that basically flip the on switch for your natural hair color.
Here's a really great way to picture it. Imagine your hair follicle is like a printer. You've still got plenty of paper, your hair is growing just fine, but the black ink cartridge is completely empty, so the hair comes out white. The solution? Beef liver. Now I know it might sound a little intense, but it basically acts like a brand new ink cartridge because it is absolutely packed with copper.
And listen, this isn't just some wild theory. A big study actually confirmed it. They found a direct, statistically proven link. The lower a person's copper levels were, the more gray hair they had. See, copper is essential for this enzyme called tyrosinase, which is like the little factory worker that actually paints the hair strand. No copper? That worker can't do its job. Just 4 ounces of liver a week can give that little worker everything it needs. Okay, let's move on to the next problem, because this is where it gets really interesting. It's not enough to just make new color. We also have to stop a process that is actively bleaching your hair from the inside out.
This is one of those facts that sounds completely made up, but it's 100% true. Your body naturally produces tiny amounts of hydrogen peroxide just by, being alive. When we're young, our bodies make an enzyme that gets rid of it, no problem. But as we get older, we produce less of that enzyme and that internal bleach starts to build up.
And this is where almonds become our secret weapon. Research from the University of Bradford actually pinpointed this exact mechanism. Almonds are a total powerhouse of zinc and magnesium, and those are critical for your body to produce an enzyme called catalase. And catalase, well, that's your body's natural bleach neutralizer. Here's a pro tip. Soak a handful overnight. It just makes all those good nutrients way easier for your body to absorb. So we're making pigment, and we're neutralizing the bleach. Awesome. But what if all those amazing nutrients can't even get to the factory in the first place? This next part is all about the delivery system, your blood, your gut, and how well you absorb things. A huge piece of this puzzle is vitamin B12. A deficiency in B12 is one of the top causes of graying that doctors actually agree is reversible. I mean, how cool is that? A study in the Archives of Dermatology found that when patients fixed their B12 levels, their natural hair color literally started to come back. That's because B12 is absolutely crucial for healthy red blood cells.
The tricky part is, as we get older, it actually becomes harder for our bodies to absorb B12 from meat. The solution? Nutritional yeast. Think of your blood vessels as highways, and your red blood cells are the delivery trucks on those highways. B12 is the fuel for those trucks. No fuel, and all those building materials we've been talking about never arrive at the factory. Just 2 tablespoons a day sprinkled on your food can refuel your entire fleet.
And finally, for our delivery system, we have to talk about the gut. You can eat all the perfect foods in the world, but if your gut can't absorb them, it's pretty much useless. I want you to think of your gut as garden soil. If the soil is all dry and depleted, nothing's going to grow, right? Fermented foods, like sauerkraut, they act like fertilizer. They heal the gut lining and restore the right environment needed to break down and absorb all those minerals.
So, let's recap where we are. We're building pigment, we're neutralizing bleach, and we're delivering the nutrients. The last step in our plan is to protect the factory itself, to shield those precious pigment-producing cells from getting damaged in the first place.
Every single day, our bodies are under attack from things like stress, pollution, you name it. These things create these little unstable molecules called free radicals that go around damaging our cells. And it turns out the cells that make our hair pigment, they're called melanocytes, are especially sensitive to this kind of damage.
This is where dark berries come to the rescue. They are just loaded with antioxidants, which are basically like a personal security detail for your pigment factory. So when those free radicals, the little vandals, try to break in and smash up the machines, the antioxidants in the berries step in, tackle them, and throw them out. A cup of berries a day helps keep that factory safe and sound.
And for our last food, we're going to bridge some ancient wisdom with modern science. Let's talk about black sesame seeds. For literally thousands of years, these have been a go-to remedy in traditional Chinese medicine for gray hair. And now, science confirms why. They are incredibly dense in iron and zinc, two minerals that are very frequently linked to pigment loss. Just think of them as tiny little spare batteries for your hair follicles.
Okay, so let's put this all together. What does this actually look like when you go to the grocery store? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here is your complete anti-gray shopping list.
Let's do a quick recap. We've got beef liver for that copper on switch. We've got almonds to neutralize the internal bleach, nutritional yeast to fuel up those B12 delivery trucks, sauerkraut to get the gut ready for absorption, dark berries to act as the security guards, and black sesame seeds to keep those mineral batteries charged up. See? Each one has a very specific science-backed job to do.
Now, it's really important that we're realistic about this. This is a long-term strategy. Your hair grows pretty slowly, so you have to be patient. This is definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
So here's what you can probably expect. You'll want to stick with this for at least 3 to 6 months, and the place you want to watch is right at the roots of your hair for those first signs of change. But honestly, more importantly, just pay attention to how you feel. The hair is just a visible bonus. When you start giving your body these nutrients, you'll probably feel your energy come back. Maybe your brain fog starts to lift. That's the real win.
So, I want to leave you with this question. Forget about trying to do everything all at once, because that's overwhelming. Just looking at this list, which one of these foods feels like the easiest, most doable thing for you to add to your routine right now? Is it the berries in a smoothie? A handful of almonds? Start there. Because taking control of how you age, that isn't about fate.